Good afternoon. Back again. This time, I think I've known Coach now for about 7 years, probably.
This is my age.
Yeah, 8 years then. Yep, we met your first year at Denham. Uh, I've become extremely fond of him, not because he's a solid basketball coach, because he has a quirky personality just like me. Uh, and he always just gives me a good shot of laughter every time we see each other. Please welcome Kevin Caballero, Denham Springs YellowJackets basketball. What's up, Coach?
Hey man, just out here getting it started. Went to New Orleans last week for a tournament. Now back here at the Gold Dome.
Right. Man, I think this is your first time, man. Your first time off the bench sports, I think.
Well, I've seen you around. We talked and everything else, and yes, I believe this is the first one. Looking forward to it.
I always ask first timers to give us a little background about themselves and their coaching history. And like I tell everybody else, you can give us a little or a lot.
Well, I played ball at Redemptor's High School under Rick Huckabee. And I'm from North Baton Rouge. A lot of people think I'm from North Louisiana because I moved up there and stayed there 27 years. But I was fortunate enough to get this job back here at Denham, moved back down. My mom still lives out here. I've coached at Division I level with Keith Richard. Keith was a ULM head coach now. He and I played together in high school, and he hired me for 5 years at Louisiana Tech. And then I spent 15 years or so in high school basketball up there between West Washita High School and Sterlington.
Okay.
And then I always thought about moving back south. Right. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to land this job.
We've been the opposite. I grew up in Northeast Louisiana, born and raised in Monroe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been here November 17th, made 20 years.
There you go.
Yeah. I got mixed reviews about it. South Louisiana and North Louisiana, even though the culture is different, a lot of the people are the same.
Yeah, I love my time up there. I've got a bunch of friends up there, a bunch of good people, and there's a bunch of them down here too. That I was able to reconnect with once we moved down, and it's been good. Take out the flood there in 2016, but other than that, we've enjoyed ourselves. It's good to instead of traveling 4 hours for family get-togethers, it takes about 15 minutes. It's a lot easier.
Right. Man. How would, as from a coaching perspective, how would you define your time at West Washita and Sterlington, as far as the perspective of the way you could coach the kids versus how you have to attack that same plan here in South Louisiana?
Well, at West Washita, it's a great place to work, great school, but it's a big school, so they're in a 4 and 5A district, so it's really tough to compete there. It's a rural school there. Now, Sterlington, we were 2A when I was there, and we were good. We were really good. Had the split been in place, there might have been a few more outcomes that would have been a little more fortunate for us, as in that 8-year realm that I had there, we were in the playoff 6 and only lost to one non-select school is what it would be called now. I think the biggest change was when I moved down here, moving from 2A to 5A, and many 5A schools really close together, and it was, sometimes we had kids in feeder schools that didn't end up at Denham, and that was one of my jobs, and so I brought my son, basically, Antonio Sterling, with me. He came with me from Sterlington. And he and I made an effort to try to keep the Denham kids in Denham. We need more Tasman Mitchells, and not just talent-wise Tasman Mitchells, but guys that really wanted to play.
And Tasman, I've known Tasman since he played at Denham and LSU and on to overseas. He's a good character guy.
Oh, and unbelievable. Unbelievable. He told me there's no doubt he was going to LSU and he was going to play at Denham and he was staying there. And, he's really passionate about, decisions he makes, and that's what I love about him.
Right. I got to see him. His daughter and my daughter both play volleyball. His daughter is at Gonzales Middle, which is the feeder school to EA, where my daughter happens to be
Oh,
right
good,
now.
good,
And,
good.
and we were both at the LSU game like a month ago. And it was, he's very approachable. Even though he's had a lot of celebrity statuses, he's down to earth,
Oh, yeah,
approachable,
so
and
much so.
and
Yeah,
he's not one of those guys that's too big for his moment.
correct, correct,
So
correct.
that's what I
Ran,
like about
ran
Tasman.
into him at the football game against Ruston Friday night. Brought him in the gym. We've made a bunch of improvements over at Denham, including the gym.
Right,
New LED lights, new scoring table, new floor. And of course, we've got the improvements in football, baseball, and softball. So it's a good place to be right now.
right. It really is in Denham. That is a beautiful gym. I was there during volleyball season.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll be there in the next couple of weeks for one of y'all games as well. So um, let's talk now about how much growth and progression you've had at your time in Denham.
Well, my first year when I got here, I had a group of Therese Kinchin and Tori Odom and those guys here. We had like 7 seniors. And, we were 8-2 in the district. We beat everybody but Coach Sample in Scotlandville.
Right,
And I thought to myself, well, this is going to be easy. Well, it hadn't been that easy.
right, right,
But, one of the things, like I said, keeping the kids there and wanting them to come. And right now we got 4 freshmen who are dressing varsity and who are out on that floor together tonight. And, tonight was a good game for us. The score won't indicate it,
right.
but as far as the growth of our kids, we had 4 freshmen and a sophomore out there in that second half. So it's something to look forward to.
I think what did it for me that cemented that you were a really solid coach was last season you guys went to Lake Charles, played in the Sam Houston tournament, and you guys overly competed every single game, and you guys opened a lot of people's eyes as per okay, Denham is a team that we have to really prepare for to come out and win. As it was a time in Denham basketball history after Tasman where it was yeah, and then the other one was in 2020. You guys came to East Ascension first round,
Mm-hmm.
my son's senior year,
Correct. I remember it.
and you took, that was a game that went down to the
Yeah,
wire.
yeah.
Uh,
It's it's been a journey to say the least, and I've heard from several people, y'all gonna be good in a couple of years. Well, I think we're gonna be good. I just told them in that dressing room, I think we're gonna be good this year.
right.
And it's fun to watch the growth of these kids from just coming off that Denham junior floor to coming out here. They all played together, and we know we've got big plans for them. We hope that it works out for them.
I know the thing that I've been talking to a lot of coaches about right now is I hate freshman basketball. I probably hate JV a little bit more because they're older, more responsible, or supposedly supposed to be. But the difference between the way a freshman comes in and then you have the JV growth, but then when they get to varsity, it's like, bam, I got it. What's that like for you when you look at your kids at Denham and the growth that they make as each year passes?
Well, that's like I said. This game tonight was one of the. You can tell them all you want at practice about you need to make a good pass. You got to meet the pass. You got to put something on it because you're not making that pass against Scotlandville, and you're
Right.
not. And so
That's right.
that's why we kind of threw them to the fire tonight. And I thought that for a half there we hung pretty well.
Absolutely.
We played well against Hannon, who's a returning state champion from
Right.
last year in New Orleans. So, like I said, we're 4-2. And those 2 games, I think, got more done than the 4 wins. Now we're going to take the 4 wins. I mean, nobody likes to lose, but I do think with the team we have, that playing a Scotlandville and playing Archbishop Hannon, that's going down the road for our parish tournament. We got
Right.
Walker in there. French Settlement's got a good ball
Right.
club this year, so it's fun to watch.
Tell us a little bit about the tournament you guys competed in last weekend in New Orleans.
Yeah, we went to Holy Cross. It was a little miscommunication between Coach Kennedy and myself. We thought we were going to Doyle, and Holy Cross was looking for a team, and I called Coach Kirkwood, and He was very gracious. I don't know if you've been in Holy Cross's gym, but
Yes,
it's a
and
beautiful, beautiful complex.
Mr. Kirkwood and myself are pretty cool. We talk all the
Very
time.
nice
Yeah,
guy, very nice guy. And we played Ben Franklin, who had just finished runner-up in Grace King's tournament. They
yeah,
lost to Jesuit. We played them and beat them on the first night, and then the second night we played Hannon. They beat us 12. And then the last night we finished up with Livingston Collegiate, who's got a good ball club too. But one of the things, those young guys had the opportunity to go all the way to New Orleans and see some things that they may not have seen here in Livingston Parish. Plus, the parish tournament is at Doyle, so I was happy with getting in that tournament.
right. This week, Wednesday through Thursday, you guys obviously we're into the second day. Yesterday, you guys had the HL Bourgeois Braves. I think it was like a 18, 20 point win or something. I looked the score up. I ain't gonna even lie, but I just forgot it that fast. Talking about
I
other
think it
stuff.
was 69-51 or
Yeah,
68-51, but I thought the key to the game was we got off to such a good start. I
right.
mean, we jumped on them early, and they've been struggling a little bit. And I told the guys we need to get off early and see if we can maintain it, and we did. We got to play everybody, and it was a good win for us.
Right. At the end of the game, I personally, and the world is listening, but don't tell anyone, I had a big smile on my face after y'all game last night because I said those kids are learning and they're growing, and most importantly, they're listening.
They are that. They are
Um,
doing that.
and so tonight was your test. Every tournament you have a test game to see how far you've grown early in the season. Tonight was your night. Scotlandville, 6'11" Dorian Booker, 6'4" Zay T-Set, uh, Chase Sample, um, plethora of guys Scotlandville got. But I think it was like a 5 point difference going into the half.
Yeah, and we didn't have an answer for the big kid. We
Right.
tried to front him, we tried to double him. And he's a load down there, but he's not all they got, as you saw.
Right.
He didn't play very much in that second half, and that's when they kind of stretched it out. I mean, a learning experience. We score and don't get back. They lay it up on us.
Right.
That's the you don't like to lose big, but I mean that's where the difference in the teams are right now. I know Booker's a senior, T-Set's a senior,
Right.
So like I said, I don't like losing, but it was a learning experience for those young guys.
Tell us about how, after a game like this, how important it is to keep the kids' energy up. Because sometimes when you still have a couple of days left in the tournament where you don't get to practice hard as you generally
Yeah.
would, what do you got? What's the motivation factor in you keeping the kids' energy and inspiration up?
Well, one thing that we always, if we're going to go to a tournament, we're going to play 3 games. The worst you want to be is 2-1. So
Right.
now it puts the onus on them, just like it was in New Orleans. We played the first one and won, played the second and lost.
Right.
Then we came back and beat Livingston Collegiate. So I challenged them in there to do the same thing. Now it's going to be tough because we got Santa Ma in their own gym,
Right.
But that's going to be another one. It's going to be a good game, I think, and we'll see if it has some success.
I'm with you on that, Coach. You just called it. I think you said tomorrow, Saint Amant.
Yes, correct.
What do you know about them, or how do you get the kids to prepare for them in a quick 20-hour turnaround?
Well, we got them in there watching the first half right now. That's what I told them to watch it. But one thing about Travis's teams, that they're always going to play you tough. They're
Right.
always going to play hard ever since I've been here.
Right.
Now they started that dribble drive stuff, so we'll have to prepare for that. So we'll have, like you said, probably 45 minutes or so to get ready for it tomorrow, and then
Right.
we'll come over here and play it.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a fan, and back in athletics, period, we look at all the time. We look at wins and losses, but we never look at how kids mature, how they grow as young men. But your kids are doing it every single year.
Well, there's nothing more satisfying than, especially during this time, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when you get those texts and those phone calls from kids that played for you 7, 8 years ago.
Right. Absolutely.
That's special.
Hey, Coach Cab, thank you for taking a minute with Off the Bench Sports. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.